if you just look at Obamacare, it is absolutely unaffordable. Premiums have gone up 80% since Obamacare was passed. 150 different hospitals have closed since Obamacare was passed. We have to do things differently. And the answer is not a COVID-era program that was created in 21. We need to look at some real reforms, real changes. Even with it expiring at the end of the year, 93% of all the people on Obamacare will still have very generous subsidies. 7% will lose it, but that 7% are people who are above 400% of the federal poverty level. Right now, there's folks being subsidized making $600,000 a year.
Missouri Congressman Jason Smith warning Obamacare has become unaffordable, urging immediate reforms instead of extending temporary pandemic-era programs. Now, Congress is back on Capitol Hill today. They only got 3 working weeks left to address the expiring enhanced Obamacare subsidies. They've also got to tackle a massive year-end legislative agenda. A lot to get through. I want to bring in Wisconsin Congressman Scott Fitzgerald. He's a member of the House Financial Services Committee. Congressman, I hope that you got some rest on your Turkey Day, because here we go. A lot is at stake, but I want to get your take on this. And this is picking up on what Jason Smith was saying to my colleague Jackie DeAngelis, that there was a report in the Wall Street Journal this morning that President Trump, his advisors are weighing options for a new health care proposal that basically would put income caps in place so that $600,000 number is not there. We've also had talk about a health savings account from President Trump. We've had talks about an extension for 1 year while you and your colleagues work all of this out. What is the path forward, and can you get this done quickly?
Yeah, I think, Cheryl, the idea that there's a kind of plan in place, I think, is maybe a little bit out there too far. But there is a lot of discussion around something that President Trump has been talking about, which is putting individuals back in control of their own health care. And, I try not to come up with too large or grandiose ideas. It's stuff that's got to be practical and could be implemented in a short period of time. And the one is that keeps coming back. And it didn't come from Congress necessarily. It came from a lot of different healthcare markets, and that's the health reimbursement accounts, which basically, again, put individuals in charge. Now, about half the people that are on Obamacare right now, they are telling us would typically qualify for it right now. So that would be a huge chunk of people that otherwise have been kind of trying to find some type of health care that's out there. But, the idea that Jason's right, we can't continue to kind of fund this at the level we are. It's just unsustainable.
Health savings accounts is something that we've seen in corporate America for years. And that's, I think, where the president is coming from. Take what works in business and take it over to government. He's done that with many other things. But even Politico reporting this morning that you and your colleagues are waiting on President Trump before you really put forth anything, because there's so many different ideas being discussed among the Republicans. And in particular, it's going to be different for a Republican that comes from, let's be honest here, a poorer state or a state that's more dependent on these subsidies versus another Republican colleague of yours that comes from a state that does not have the dependence on the subsidies.
No, I mean, the thing that's great about the Health Retirement Acts and that are associated with retirements are a lot of the premiums, the co-pays, the doctor visits. It puts people in control of this group of dollars that sometimes is a mix of money that they put in themselves, and other times it's the employers have contributed. And I get that. I mean, I know there's some people that lose their jobs, they end up in a dire situation, and this is where they have been going. But the idea that this has become their permanent solution to healthcare, that's unacceptable, and it's never what the intention was. So, yeah, I think the White House is in a position to kind of come up with something that the House could certainly rally around very quickly, and hopefully we can put something together within the next 3 weeks, certainly, to be able to respond to some of the criticisms that we're hearing right now.
Well, I think that the calendar might be shorter than that, especially as you're pushing up against the holidays. And the pressure really is going to end up on Speaker Johnson's shoulders. But let's talk about Venezuela, because President Trump did confirm last night that he spoke with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Watch.
The New York Times reported that you had a phone call with Maduro. Did you?
I don't want to comment on it. The answer is yes.
And can you tell us a little bit?
No,
about
I can't do that.
Mr. President, would you say it went well?
I wouldn't say it went well or badly. It was a phone call.
The Miami Herald is reporting that the president gave Maduro an ultimatum as the U.S. is weighing land operations in Venezuela. Here's what they wrote in the Miami Herald. The U.S. message to Maduro was direct. Safe passage be guaranteed for him, his wife, and his son only if he agrees to resign right away. Now, Venezuela is condemning the president's statement that airspace should be considered closed above the country. Congressman, I want to get your thoughts on this because the stakes are incredibly high here. And in particular, the legality of all of this. That has been questioned about the president and the administration's military operations off the coast of Venezuela.
Yeah, if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound on this, and we're in for a pound. The buildup is real. Members of Congress have been watching this. I know that there's some that have been briefed fully on where we're at in relation to not just Venezuela, but kind of the back and forth with the naval fleet being as highly concentrated as it is right now out of Caracas. Listen, Maduro is class, one of those individuals that I think President Trump could run circles around when it comes to negotiating. So I'm very hopeful that he's in a position now, that the president's in a position to force the hand and that we see Maduro step down soon. I think that has been the goal since day one, and I hope it happens this week.
Yeah. Before you go, I do want to ask you about this, a crucial week in Tennessee. President Trump and Speaker Johnson reportedly are going to be holding a tele-rally for Tennessee candidate Matt Van Epps in his final push for the special election tomorrow. And then Democrat Afton Bain is going to rally with AOC Al Gore today. She's still defending those past social media posts, especially the one where she praised those who think it's okay to burn down a police station. She's made some nasty comments about the city of Nashville, which is this district. But the bigger picture here, Congressman, is what does this mean for the Republicans in the midterms? Does the outcome of this election tomorrow send us a signal, whatever it's going to be, for the Republicans for next year?
Well, you couldn't get a better candidate than we have in Matt. So it's going to be a test, I think, of the political environment. Where are we, and are there things that maybe Republicans aren't breaking through with on their messaging? We saw that in the earlier elections a month ago. But I am confident. I think that what we've been doing along with President Trump has been resonating. I think the turnaround at the border, I think some of the negotiations, international negotiations that the president's been engaged in have put kind of the wind in the sails of America again. And I think people are feeling it. I feel it in my district. And we're hoping to see good results in Tennessee.
Well, it's certainly going to be a key. Again, special elections, the timing can always be so strange. Here we are in December having this one, but we are. Congressman Scott Fitzgerald, it's always great to have you on the program. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Good to be with you this morning.
All right. We'll be right back, everybody.